Hey you. Yeah, you, the one who clicked on this video instead of doing whatever else you were supposed to be doing. Let me guess. You're overthinking again, aren't you? Sitting there, spiraling into this endless vortex of what ifs and maybes. Classic. Every decision feels like trying to defuse a bomb. Salad or burger? If I pick salad, am I lying to myself about being healthy? But the burger, oh, the joy of the burger. Am I betraying future me? Why is life so hard? If this sounds like your inner dialogue, congratulations. You're definitely in the overthinking zone, where every choice, no matter how small, feels like drafting a constitutional amendment. But hey, don't worry, because today we're putting a stop to that. Well, maybe not a full stop. That's ambitious. More like a yield sign. We're going to figure out how to stop overthinking, or at least, how to slow it down enough so you can start living like a sane person again. Deal? Let's dive in. So what's happening when we overthink? I like to call it the overthinking cycle. Let me break it down for you. Step 1. The initial thought. It all starts innocently enough. Maybe your boss says, "Can we talk after lunch?" And immediately you go, "What did I do? Am I in trouble? Oh no, what if she found out about the time I accidentally replied all to that email? Oh God, was it the meme?" It was the meme. Step 2. The speculation spiral. You go deeper. Your brain starts generating theories like a detective in a crime show. Maybe it's not just the email. Maybe it's because I didn't laugh hard enough at her joke during the meeting. Maybe she thinks I'm plotting against her. Am I about to get fired? Step 3. The catastrophe conclusion. You reach the inevitable worst-case scenario. I'll get fired, lose my apartment, and have to live under a bridge. I'll be the troll of the bridge. People will bring me offerings of stale bread. I'll develop an allergy to gluten and perish from a life of misery. Step 4. Paralyzing indecision. At this point, you're too deep in it. You can't function. You're staring at your phone like it's about to explode, and all you had to do was confirm the lunch meeting. You're stuck. Welcome to overthinking. Population U. Now that we've identified the cycle, how do we stop it? First of all, you can't think your way out of overthinking. Trust me, I've tried. That's like trying to put out a fire by throwing more fire at it. It doesn't work. We need to get sneaky. You've got to interrupt the cycle. It's like that moment when Netflix asks, "Are you still watching?" Yeah, Netflix, I am, but thanks for making me reflect on my life choices. Overthinking needs a similar prompt, something to snap you out of it. Step 1. Interrupt the spiral. Picture this. Next time you're in the middle of an overthinking spiral, just shout, "Stop!" No, seriously, do it. Maybe not in the middle of a coffee shop, but somewhere. It's jarring, and it snaps you back to reality. Your brain hates surprises. It's like spilling hot coffee on yourself, except, without the burns. You can also try rubber bands. Not the ones your grandma uses to wrap up cookies for the holidays, but the ones you snap on your wrist when you catch yourself spiraling. It's like giving your overthinking a little flick on the nose. Is it scientific? Debatable, but it works, and it's cheaper than therapy. Step 2. Set a deadline. This is a fun one. Give yourself permission to overthink, but with a deadline. All right, brain, we're going to panic about this email for exactly 5 minutes, then we're done. Set a timer. Overthink as hard as you can. Really go for it. By the end of 5 minutes, your brain will be tired, and you'll be too bored to keep going. It's like letting a toddler scream until they pass out. Eventually, they're just out of energy. Example 1. The what should I eat? Dilemma. Let me give you a classic example of how overthinking loves to hijack our daily lives. You've just opened your fridge and you're standing there, staring at a carton of eggs, a jar of salsa, and half a questionable cucumber. You're not sure what you're hungry for, but you start thinking, if I make a sandwich, does that count as dinner? I should probably eat something healthier, but I don't have time to cook. Is cereal an adult meal? Why is deciding what to eat so hard? Suddenly, it's been 20 minutes. Your fridge is beeping at you and you're still standing there. And you know what? You're not even hungry anymore because you've spent all your brain power thinking about what to eat. What to do in this scenario? Set a time limit. Here's the deal. Food should not be that stressful. Set a timer for 2 minutes and decide. No more pondering like you're selecting a life partner. Just make a quick choice. Pro tip, flip a coin if you're still stuck at the end of those 2 minutes. Heads for the eggs, tails for the cereal. You'll live either way. Example 2, the did I sound weird? Over-analysis. Ah yes, the classic post-conversation breakdown. You just left a group chat, maybe with co-workers or friends, and now your brain's in full-on CSI mode. Was that joke I made about the weather weird? Did they laugh because they felt bad? Did I talk too much? Should I text them to clarify that I wasn't actually offended when I said I didn't like pineapple on pizza? Spoiler, nobody's thinking about it nearly as much as you are. In fact, they've probably already forgotten about the whole conversation. What to do in this case? The one conversation rule. Give yourself a rule. After any interaction, you get one opportunity to think about it, and then it's over. Once you've replayed it, reflect for a minute, max, and then mentally drop it like it's a burning potato. Ask yourself, will I remember this in a year? If not, it's not worth stressing over now. Alright, let's get a little nerdy for a second. Why do we do this? Why are our brains so determined to turn every mundane decision into an episode of Law & Order Anxiety Unit? It's evolutionary. You see, back in the caveman days, overthinking was a survival tool. If our ancestors were overthinking every rustle in the bushes, it meant they were less likely to get eaten by a tiger. Overthinking equals caution, caution equals survival. But now, instead of saber-toothed tigers, we have emails. We have Instagram likes. We have trying to interpret your best friend's one-word fine text. These are not life-threatening situations, but your brain, it doesn't know that. It's just doing its job, keeping you alive by freaking out over everything. Here's the good news. You can train your brain to chill. You can show it that, hey, not every decision is a matter of life or death. The overthinking text messages scenario. Now check this out. How many times have you overthought something as simple as sending a text message? Like you're about to send a basic message, just something like, hey, wanna grab coffee on Friday? But then, your brain turns into a Shakespearean scholar like, wait, should I add an emoji? Would a winky face be too much? Does grab sound aggressive? Am I being too casual? Suddenly, you've spent 15 minutes agonizing over a sentence that could have taken 5 seconds. Or, you've written and rewritten a text about 7 times. Maybe it's to your boss. Maybe it's to that person you like but don't want to seem too interested in. And here you are, debating the deep philosophical implications of adding a period versus an exclamation mark. What to do here? The 3-second send rule. Here's a little trick. Once you've typed it out, count to 3 and hit send. 3 seconds is enough time to confirm that you didn't accidentally insult their entire family, but it's not long enough for your brain to spiral into, is this text going to ruin my life? So, now that we've tackled the overthinking monster, let's talk about what to do instead. How do we shift from analysis paralysis to, actually living? Step 1, embrace imperfection. Let's just get one thing straight. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. That email you spent 45 minutes writing, your boss read it in 7 seconds and moved on with her day. That outfit you agonized over, most people won't notice unless it's on fire. Perfection is an illusion. Let yourself be okay with good enough. It's freeing. It's like realizing you don't actually need to fold your fitted sheets. Just ball them up and shove them in the closet. Life's too short. Step 2, take action, even if it's messy. Action beats overthinking every time. Worried about whether to send the email? Just send it. Worried about whether to ask someone out? Do it. Action creates momentum, and momentum kills overthinking. Think of yourself as a boulder rolling downhill. Sure, you might hit a tree or two on the way down, but at least you're moving. Step 3, focus on what's happening right now. Overthinking loves to drag you into the past or catapult you into the future. It hates the present moment, because the present moment is usually just fine. So when you catch yourself spiraling, zoom in on the now. What's happening right now? Are you being chased by a tiger? No? Then you're good. Breathe. Finally, let's talk about some real examples of how overthinking shows up in everyday life. I know, we've all been there, obsessing over the weirdest, tiniest things, like our lives depend on them. And hey, maybe you're sitting there thinking, okay, but what does overthinking actually look like? Good news, if you're a human living in modern society, you're probably a master at it without even knowing. Let's talk real solutions now. How do you go from overthinking everything to actually living? Well, here are some positively pragmatic steps to help you break the cycle and reclaim your peace of mind. Step 1. Limit your decision-making energy. Ever hear of decision fatigue? Basically, it's the idea that you've got a limited supply of brain power for making decisions each day. If you spend 20 minutes deciding whether to wear the blue shirt or the green shirt, guess what? You're wasting precious mental energy that could be used for things that actually matter, like deciding what show to binge next on Netflix. Solution: automate the simple stuff. Take a page out of Steve Jobs' playbook. He wore the same turtleneck every day to save brain power for the big decisions. You don't have to go full turtleneck, but you can simplify. Create a weekly meal plan so you don't spend hours thinking about dinner. Lay out your clothes the night before. Free up your mental space for the stuff that counts. Step 2, practice the 5-5-5 rule. This one's golden. When you're caught in the overthinking loop, stop and ask yourself, will this matter in 5 minutes? Will this matter in 5 days? Will this matter in 5 years? Chances are, whatever you're stressing over, whether it's a typo in an email or what someone might think of you, won't matter in 5 years. Heck, it might not even matter in 5 days. This simple shift in perspective is like popping a balloon filled with overthinking. Step 3, shift from thinking to doing. Here's the kicker. Overthinking keeps you stuck in your head, but action breaks you out of that mental trap. Solution, do something, anything, approach. Feeling overwhelmed by choices? Instead of analyzing every possible option, just pick one and do it. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. Just taking action will quiet that overthinking voice in your head. It's like turning down the volume on your anxiety. Step 4, develop a good enough mindset. Perfection is a myth, and overthinking loves to feed off perfectionism. You tell yourself, I need to find the perfect way to respond to this text, or I can't submit this report until it's flawless. But here's the truth. Good enough is good enough. Solution, embrace imperfection. Whenever you're feeling stuck in overthinking, ask yourself, is this good enough to get the job done? If the answer is yes, move on. The world won't end if your dinner isn't Instagram worthy, or if your presentation doesn't have 35 fancy graphics. Progress beats perfection every time. At the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Life is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes straight up weird. But that's what makes it awesome. Overthinking sucks the joy out of it, and you deserve to enjoy the ride. So stop stressing over the small stuff. Take the leap, send the text, make the decision, eat the burger. Because life is happening right now. Not in the mental gymnastics routine you're performing in your head. Not in the imagined future where everything goes wrong. Right here, right now. The less time you spend overthinking, the more time you have to actually live. And isn't that what we're all trying to do? Look, overthinking isn't going to vanish overnight. It's sneaky, and it'll try to creep back in. But now you've got the tools to deal with it. So, the next time you catch yourself spiraling, remember this. Life is happening right now. Not in the what-ifs or maybes, but right here. The email will get sent, the lunch meeting will happen, and chances are the world won't end. So, take a deep breath and let yourself live. Because let me tell you, life is a lot more fun when you stop trying to analyze it like a crime scene. But wait, before you start living your best life, don't overthink this next part. I need you to do 3 quick, easy things. 1, hit that subscribe button, because let's face it, we could all use more reminders to chill out. 2, like this video if you've ever overthought anything, and if you're like me, that's a definite yes. 3, and of course, share this with your fellow overthinkers. Spread the love and help someone else break free from the hamster wheel of endless thoughts. All right, you've got this. Go live your life, and I'll see you in the next one.